I want to start off by saying congratulations to the crew. 350 on the early slate, 300 on the main slate. We had a big Sunday today, big Sunday. I'm going to recap the day and get into tomorrow's lineup. We're going to keep getting this money. Just trying to get things set up here. No, you guys don't want to see too much of me. You want to see that fire. So let's get you guys over to that fire. Before I start, I want to do some subscriber recognition. That's something I've been doing as of late. First one is to Christina Noel. She says, "This is my new favorite channel for DFS. Thanks for all your help." You are welcome, Christina. Anything I can do to help you win money, it is a pleasure. She's played my lineups 2 days in a row, and it's all fire, fire. So if you guys are watching for the first time, make sure you subscribe to get that fire on a daily basis, okay? The second shout out goes to the day one crew. Tim Hess, Mamba. These guys have been around since day one. Now, we hit a little rock when a little after the All-Star break when teams started tanking and there weren't enough consistency. And I got a lot of backlash from people because I have a system that I use when I play fantasy sports, and the system started becoming less useful as the season winded down because of the inconsistency and injuries. It just wasn't easy to apply that system. So a lot of people started getting, "Oh, this system sucks," and "Yeah, you suck," and they jump ship, right? I'm actually happy that happened because I call it a moment of filtration. Okay. During that moment, the true people who believed in me stuck around. And these are the Tim Hess and the Mamba. Okay. And just to read the kind words, he said 1 month ago he would not be in this position, but because of DFS Simplified, he was able to start becoming successful. We have the coolest crew in DFS, and that's a fact, man. Believe those words, okay? Mamba, I agree. I've learned so much from your boy DFS. And then um they're showing appreciation, man. We're doing something powerful over here. I'm just upset that I didn't start this a little sooner in the NBA season, but after getting over the hump, I kind of realized what I need to do to win coming down the stretch. And since I've realized that people have been successful again, and the day one people, I just got to always make sure people recognize those guys and show some love to those guys. Okay, now let's get into the recap. The early lineup was 347. We dropped 347 points today, man. We had all flames, all flames. Russell Westbrook was obvious. It was about 4 game slate. You just have to pick on Russell, chasing history. Troy Daniels moving into the starting lineup. I threw him in there. I was stuck between Antetokounmpo and Kawhi Leonard. When I heard that Brogdon was out, I tried to convince the simplifying crew that you got to just take Antetokounmpo in this case. People did it and they were happy. Thomas Robinson was a lock once I realized that Tariq Black was out. So it's not that I'm a genius, guys. It's just that we break down these games and we simplify it, man. We make things obvious. Dwayne Dedman was the one that nobody agreed with me on. My crew gave me a little backlash about it. They're like, "What? Do you know that that's Gobert down there? Rudy Gobert is not going to make Dwayne Dedman hit value." And Dedman was 1% owned. In the free entry with 17,000 people, this lineup came in number 20. If you played this lineup in any tournament today, you would have got 10 times the buy-in, at least 10 times your buy-in with this lineup today, guys. All right. Mike Conley was obvious. Julius Randle, huh? And then Devin Harris was just the minimum price. So I love the rest of the lineup so much. I just figured he was the best minimal price person. And he got me 6 times value. The lineup was fire. People won money today, hundreds of dollars today. Okay. Congratulations to all you guys. Okay. And then the main slate lineup, another 297, close enough, 300. Okay. We had Sam Decker, 44% owned. The whole of America, half of America wanted Sam Decker, and he gave us 2 fantasy points. Could you imagine if he would have just did 10? Something a little better than that. But it's still cash. This lineup cash. Everything today cashed out for us, okay? I thought Iguodala would do a little better. Dragic should have done a little better. Valanciunas should have done a little better. All these guys underperformed, and we still did well. They didn't play Valanciunas at all in like the second half because they had a nice, comfortable lead. And I have a feeling they're trying to keep him healthy and fresh for the postseason when they really need him. So he's going to be entering the playoff with a low price. So that first day, we got to get on Valanciunas because he's going to get all the minutes that he can handle come playoff time, okay? And it was just a successful day. That's the recap. I'm going to jump right into today's slate, tomorrow's slate. First, let me see what you guys talking about. Oh, man, bro. Decker didn't do nothing. Hey, man. When did I post? I did the fire lineup at the live show, Sean D. So you got to try to make the live pre-lock because at that point we're getting so many news coming in from injury reports that we can just accommodate to that and just make that fire on the spot. It's hard for me to make a lineup right now thinking it's going to be fire tomorrow. But if it's 30 minutes before lock and we're getting all this news, then we can just put that fire out, okay? So try to make the live show. Shout out to Cordell Dotson. What's up, bro? I hope you played both lineups from today because if you did, you won 20, at least 10 times your buy-in, especially on the early slate. If you played the early slate in any tournament, you won 10 times your buy-in, okay? Out of 17 people in the free contest, I was number 20. 17,000 people. 17,000. I was number 20. That's pretty impressive. I feel so good. And I want to thank you guys for that. Again, I can't thank you guys enough. All right. Let's get into tomorrow's slate. The reason I'm not really entertaining this that much, and I probably won't put too much money on it, is because what's going to happen is there's only one game tomorrow, okay? And then Tuesday, a lot of news, like for example, Cleveland just got double overtime. So I'm almost sure they're going to want to start resting players, okay? So we don't know what's going to happen in Cleveland, and we're not going to know by lock tomorrow because it's still 24 more hours before the game. So we're going to have a lineup, and then stuff is going to happen that's going to piss us off, right? So the lineup that I'm going to make now is going to be lock proof, meaning that it's going to be players that there's no way that they're going to miss the game. And I'm going to explain it as I go along, okay? Then I know that tomorrow evening there's going to be a new slate out with just Tuesday games. And then we can analyze that, make a lineup for it, and then pre-lock on Tuesday, we can look at injury news and make the optimum lineup for the night. So let's get right into it. Portland versus Minnesota. We know that Nurkic is out for the rest of the regular season. So right away, Leonard was the guy that was chalked before. People are going to stay away from Myers Leonard. And I think we should stay away from Myers Leonard because if he couldn't give us 6 times value at 3K, he's 4K now. Some people are still going to believe, yeah, he's the starting center. But there's a guy named Vonleh that I'm more interested in. I like Vonleh tomorrow. I'm going to take Vonleh. He took advantage of the situation, and he went off for 10 times value. And he only went up $300, but they raised the price on a guy that bought him out $1,000. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Love Vonleh. I like Aminu a little more than a little bit, but I'm not gonna pick on any Aminu. Damian Lillard. I mean, like I said on this slate, I like him better with Nurkic in than out, and he went and underperformed. He only came back with less than 5 times value for his price. Don't think 49.8 means that that's a good game. I'm not really interested in that number for that price. All right. And then CJ McCollum, he alternates good games and bad games, right? 49-18, 52-19, 45-27. So I think it's time for him to bottom out tomorrow. I'm going to be careful, pump the brakes on some CJ McCollum. And then Harkless, Turner, and those guys, I'm just not interested in. I'm really not interested in anyone else. On the Minnesota side of the ball, love the guy Chris Dunn. I think people are going to be afraid to play him because he just dropped 14. But don't be afraid. He got 6 fouls. He's in foul trouble. It happens. I don't think he's going to come back out in foul trouble. He's going to get back his mid-20s in 30 minutes, and he's going to do well. So I'll take some Chris Dunn and be happy with it, okay? And then Tyus Jones, Brandon Rush, not interested in those guys. Andrew Wiggins, he's been doing better. Just had 43, but just a bad feeling about that guy every night. Carl Anthony Towns for 10-5 is not worth it. I still like Gorgie Jang in this situation, but I'm gonna use some caution with Gorgie Jang for 6.3K. I liked him much better when he was like 5.5, 5.4. His price is 6.2. I'm all set. I'm good. And that's enough for that game. Brooklyn versus Philly. Um, on the Brooklyn side, we just might as well just go ahead and lock in Brook Lopez. On the season, they played 3 times. He's averaging 47. His price is still too cheap for that. They just played 2 games ago. He put up 51 points. Centers against Philly, it's a given. You don't think twice about it. You just do it. You know what I mean? So go ahead, get Brook Lopez in. And then probably pump the brakes. I do like Lynn. I think he's in a good spot, but not for 6.6. He would have to put up 40. And yes, he put up 36 against them, and he's capable of putting up 40. But with Chris Dunn as my point guard, I'm just going to stop there. There's some real good players that I like on this slate that I think will not be rested that I really like, okay? And then the bench guys, those guys should have a good day. I'm not really big in a rush to chase it. Hollis Jefferson will have a big game too. As a matter of fact, what I realized today from Serge Ibaka, and then I did some further research and look back a little bit, is stack not only the center but the power forward against Philly. Take the starting center and power forward, throw them in your lineup, and you should be successful. But with that said, I like Aminu as my power forward, and there's a lot of good value that I like. I'm going to hold off on Hollis Jefferson, but I like Hollis Jefferson to bounce back in this nice matchup. They're trying to get the young guys the ball more, and his minutes are a little bit limited too sometimes. So Hollis Jefferson is a liability to a certain extent. On the Philadelphia side of the ball, TLC, shout out to Tim Hess. That's his guy right now. Brooklyn is a nice matchup for him. And every night, the guy is going out 6 times value. By halftime, he has 20 fantasy points. I cannot ignore it any longer. His price is going to go up to like 6K shortly. And I just want to get in on the value while it's around and it's hitting. So TLC, I like in this game. Sean Long, I think, is doing better. I think he can have a good game. Rashawn Holmes, man, if you get him at the right time, you can be very profitable. Don't be afraid of some Rashawn Holmes. And that's about it from that game. All right, to be honest. And then moving forward, my laptop's dying. I'm just gonna grab the charger really quick so it doesn't cut off in the middle of my show and pisses me off. So Charlotte versus Washington. Now Washington just played in Golden State on the other side of the country, literally from one coast to the other coast. They travel, they get one day off, and they play again. So I'm not super excited to mess with anybody on the Washington side of the ball, okay? On the Charlotte side of the so let's start with Charlotte, right? Kemba Walker just did okay. He needs upper 40s. He's averaging in 3 games only 30-something minutes against this team. He does much better at home. When he goes on the road, he really sucks. So just because he's gonna be on the road, I'm just gonna use some caution. Batum is up and down like a yo-yo. I'm all set. Marvin Williams is worth some consideration though. I like to attack bigs versus this team. I'll pick some Marvin Williams and strongly consider that. And even Cody Zeller. Cody Zeller just played them recently, and he put up 37.25. I like to attack. We just saw Draymond Green go off today. We saw the guy Shaqtin' a Fool, whatever his name is, go off today. Against Washington, you just play the bigs. You got to play the bigs against Washington, man. They're very vulnerable against the bigs. So I can take on some Cody Zeller and not feel any type of way about it. And that'll probably be it for that game. Now, Cleveland versus Orlando. This guy here, I don't want to discourage anyone from playing him. I am done playing him because I played him versus OKC and he did me wrong. And then I said I'm done with him. Then he come out and do 250 bombs, okay? He's going into Cleveland, and that's an opportunity for another 50 bombs because Kyrie Irving does not play any defense, so he is a good play, yes. But I am not. I'm okay. I'm gonna stay away from some Alfred Payton and feel pretty good about it. Okay. Um, the person in this game that I like a lot is this guy that's surging, man. He's getting 15 and 16 rebounds a game. All right. I know Brooklyn and Boston are the teams that's optimal for, but when you're doing that type of stuff and then you're shooting over 50%, your team is allowing you to shoot the ball 18 or 24 times. All right. I gotta take a pick. 50 and 60 in the last two. I gotta do it. I gotta take out Marvin Williams and just go some Aaron Gordon. I just have to do that. Okay, he's doing way too well right now for me not to do that. And then Vucevic has been submissive to Aaron Gordon. He just had a big game against Brooklyn, but Cleveland is a tougher matchup for bigs. I'm not gonna mess with Vucevic against Cleveland. All right. And then on the Cleveland side of the ball, I'm not even gonna look because I don't want to pick any of the big three, and then they end up missing this game. LeBron James is on fire right now, but because the lock is on Monday, something will have to come out tomorrow saying that they're playing for sure for me to mess with any Cleveland players after double overtime today. I think it's a little bit risky. All right, guys, be very careful with that. Okay. And then moving on, Toronto versus Indiana. You know that I'm gonna go get my boy Valanciunas. Now his price is up from the last time they played. His price was 52. Now it's 59. So people are gonna get worried about that. In 2 games, he's averaging 38, which is over 6 times value. The problem is if the game gets out of hand, he might not play late. But I'm not gonna worry about that. All right. It got out of hand today. I'm not gonna use that to discourage myself from getting someone that I like so much. So I'm gonna throw Valanciunas in there. Although I like Cody Zeller, I like Valanciunas more. I like Valanciunas. Cody Zeller might get more minutes, you know. And they'll both be in the 30s ish. You know, in good matchup, Cody Zeller shows that he's the man. I'm all right. I'm gonna keep Valanciunas and just stick to that. I think I'm at peace with that decision. All right. Then I'm gonna move Luau Wu up to the 2 guard so I can get some room for this guy here. They just lost. They're trying to make the playoff. They are tied with Miami. Miami lost today and they lost today. So they are tied with Miami for that last spot. Paul George is not going to come out slouching. Paul George is going to come out swinging, ready to go off. He's going to have a big game until they're guaranteed that spot. So if Paul George is less than 9K, until he's above 9K, I would advise you guys to get on some Paul George. Okay. At home, especially, get on some Paul George, guys. Please don't make the mistake and not do that. Jeff Teague just went into double overtime and barely hit value. I'm not interested. I'm just not interested in Jeff Teague. Monte Ellis is a good play. Lance Stevenson, he looked okay today. He was a good part of the offense. So they might use him some more. And then Biggs against Toronto, you just don't want to mess around with. Miles Turner, that game they just played, he put up 33. We need a little more than that from him. And I don't think that he would fail to give you more than that, but I'm okay. With the urgency at this time, I think Paul George is taking over games now. There's no more this. It's Paul George showing his will. Paul George is going to be looking like LeBron James coming down the stretch, guys. I feel it. So get some Paul George and keep it moving. Toronto side, I still like Delon Wright. Love Delon Wright in this situation. He just put up 22 on them. His price is not moving. I don't know why. They look at the guy in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, he's hit 7 times value 4 times. I guess 8 against Charlotte was enough for them to keep his price low. If you chasing like Peyton and you want to come off done and you really reaching, give Delon Wright a look off the bench, man. He's gonna get the minutes. He's in a good matchup against Indiana, and he will give you what you need and what you want. I like him a lot. I'm not going that low in this lineup because I don't have to. I love the lineup that I've formed here. Okay, Corey Joseph, hit or miss, man. It's a good matchup, but he just played him and only went 18. Today he came out, not today, but the day before that in a difficult matchup, 42 and 43. So you don't know what you're gonna get out of Corey Joseph. And why do I feel like Toronto played today? For some reason, I feel like Toronto played today. Just want to check something out really quick here. They did not play today. Yeah, they did. I know Toronto played today. Today Corey Joseph had a decent game. So when I in order for Corey Joseph to do well, I have to not play him, guys. Whenever I play him, he just doesn't do well. So today he had 9, and 9 is 18, plus 5 is 23, 24, 25, 26. Not really. He had mid-20s today. For his price, the guy is very inconsistent. Just leave him alone. We're not going to get 30 consistently. It makes no sense. But this guy right here, DeMar DeRozan, fuego right now. He just dropped 60 points on them. Got to get him in. Got to get him in. All right. Damari Carroll, get in your lineup if you want 20 points plus. He's going to hit 3-4 3-pointers tomorrow. He's going to hit value for this price. People don't like to play him, but I don't like to play Damari Carroll. I fade Damari Carroll on every team he plays except for Indiana Pacers. When he plays Indiana Pacers, the game flow and the dynamics allow him to do well. And it showed. It showed in the last 2 games they just played. He put up 22. That's about 6 or 7 times value. And then they played about 2 weeks ago. He put up 24, which is about 7 times value. So Damari Carroll, that's the only time he's in the 20s is against Atlanta. Give up points to anyone on any given night, and that's it. Indiana. So Indiana is the matchup that Damari Carroll likes to get into the 20s. Don't hesitate. I just like the matchup that I got here much better, so I'm going to keep it. We already got some Valanciunas. Serge Ibaka is worth a look. He's heating up. He just dropped 40 on them, and then today he came out and dropped another. He went off today. I know Serge Ibaka went off today. He had 24, 29, 30, 31, 6 blocks. So that's 12, 42, 43, 40. He was in the 40s today. So 2 games back to back. Serge Ibaka is in the 40s. He is surging right now. And this is a good matchup. He just dropped 40 against them. He's still only 6K. So if we get mid-30s, we're happy. So Serge Ibaka is a good pivot with Aaron Gordon. I'm just intrigued by what Aaron Gordon's been doing, and I think that it's not going to stop. If you saw the dunking contest, he was dealing with some injuries and he wasn't able to even get off the floor, right? But whatever he was dealing with is done. It's over with, guys. I see this guy flying, jumping for rebounds, doing stuff that he was doing last year that made people think he was one of the future players in the NBA. Got hurt, started off slow, but it's back. It's back, guys. So Aaron Gordon is looking great. But again, Ibaka, I like Ibaka a lot more than a little bit, and I like Aaron Gordon a lot. So it's just a little bit of separation, only because a healthy Aaron Gordon could be a little bit dangerous. And shout out to that the Keenan. I don't remember his first name, but it's a guy that I talk to on Twitter and help with his lineups every day. And every day he keeps putting Aaron Gordon in my inbox. I'm like, dude, why are you stuck on Aaron Gordon? Do you see the numbers that we're getting from Aaron Gordon? 21, 26, 13. And he kept saying to me, man, I just know he's gonna go off. And then he went off in Boston, and I felt bad because I think that was the game that he was asking me about it. I think, yeah, it was, because he did decent against OKC, and he was only 5K, so that's 6 times value. So the guy thought that, hey, I think it's his time now. So against Boston, I said, listen, every now and then he'll go off, and he just had a good game. Leave him alone. Then the guy went out and did a 60 ball. Then he followed up with a 55 ball. So I'm not gonna wait till this price is 7K to try to chase him. I'm gonna get him while he's still cheap. This is the lineup for tomorrow. I don't see any of these players resting on Tuesday, so that's why I like it a lot. And if people have like a LeBron James and he end up resting for 10K, that will really help our lineup be successful. And there's nobody in this lineup that I can say I'm questioning or iffy about. I like this lineup a lot. I think you should as well, and play it with confidence. All right. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Cordell, you missed the lineups from today. We dropped a 350 and a 300 on them. Early slate, main slate, man. I'm mad that you missed it too. Moutier, I didn't say no to Moutier. What I remember saying was you might get 2 Moutier. The Moutier that comes out and try to show what you guys been missing, or the Moutier that's like, you know what, now y'all want to use me because Nelson is not playing, and just give a lot lackluster effort. I just didn't know which one I was gonna get. So he came out and went off. So you were right. I didn't say no to Moutier. I mean, it was just a 50-50 gamble, and he came, and it was a tough matchup against Miami. Another reason why I wasn't too excited about it. But he came out and did well. Shout out to Moutier. Shout out to Tito Wilson for recommending some Moutier. Vonleh will be chalk. He probably is, but how could you not play Vonleh? He's starting against a team that's generous to his position. Now I get it. He's gonna be matched up initially with Gorgie Jeng, and Gorgie Jeng has a size advantage on him. But as the game play on and subs start subbing out, Vonleh is gonna see a lot of center spot. They're gonna want to go small and throw Vaughn, especially with Myers Leonard not being an interior force. Myers Leonard is a guy that can spread the floor for you, and he really sucks. So I think they'll use Vonleh a little more than a little bit, and I like it. So he said, "Oh no, your timing is perfect, bro. Just keep on pushing and doing your thing." Thank you, 713 Sean. That's all I could do. Rubio is a must play. Nah, not for me. But if you think he's a must play, take out one of the guys that I put in and put in some Rubio. I'm all set with Rubio, man. For 8K? Nah. That means why? Because he went out for 60 against the Lakers. I know Portland are generous to point guards. I get it, but they're not the Lakers. And if Rubio gives me 42, which he's been in 2 out of the last 3 games for 8K, I'm upset. I need 50. And he shows that he can do 50s and 60, but not consistent enough for me to put an 8K dent into my budget. So he might be. I don't hate him. I like him in that spot. If it's a cash, he's a good cash play. You know what I mean? He's a good cash play. So if you like him that much, go ahead and get him in. Get him in your lineup, man. But I'm good. I'm all set with Rubio. Great day for me. Due to your advice, keep it up. Hey, Gerald, you another day one. I've been seeing your name since I started doing this, and you stuck through the tough time. And now we're gonna eat money to the last couple of weeks. We're gonna eat. You know what it is too. Um, I'm not even gonna get into that. Great lineup, Simp. Hey, Jonathan Gosney. Salute to you, man. Keep running the lineups. You're gonna keep winning money. What's your thought about playing on two days? I don't love it. I kind of covered that, Jared. I said that what's gonna happen is Tuesday morning, people are gonna be announced as sitting for rest, but the slate is gonna be locked already, and we're gonna be pissed. So the lineup that I just formulated is pretty much lock proof because I don't see any of these dudes sitting. Which Paul, they're not gonna sit Dunn and TLC. Paul George is not sitting because they need to get into the playoffs. Vonleh is not sitting. Brooke Lopez is not sitting. They said they're not planning on resting any of those guys. Brooke maybe, but it's not even a back to back. But on the road, I don't see why they would rest Brooke though. They haven't been resting him, so for them to rest, so Brooke is probably the only one, and DeRozan, being that they're already in the playoff. But Aaron Gordon, they're not gonna rest, and Valanciunas too, maybe. So it's just not as risky as the Cleveland guys are the ones that I'm really worried about. Those Cleveland players, I'm really worried about those guys. All right. Oh, my man just got one more subscriber. Keep it up, my man. Yo, that's how I did in the beginning. My first week, I won everybody money. One person said they put $25 in and ended up with $150 after 2 to 3 days of me doing videos. My followers went to 100 in the first 3 days. The subscribers went all the way up. Then we hit a plateau. All-Star weekend came around. We started struggling. People unsubscribed. I started getting mean. I had to block a couple people and just not even entertain it. A little bit of strife with other YouTubers, not even the people who make the videos, just the people that follows them. And then stuff plateaued. Now we're on a winning streak and we're doing well again. And yeah, I went from 300 to 320 in like 2 days. So I know that's gonna happen, and rightfully so. You do good for people, and people are gonna follow you. You start struggling, and they're gonna look for the next person that can give them a good lineup. I get it, but the day one people, the Mambas, the Tim Hess, the Gerald Lees, those guys, man, they survived the filtrations period, and I love it. Portland is one of the best matchups for point guards. I get it, but Rubio is 8K because of that, and I don't want to mess around with it. West Sider, another day one guy. Shout out to you, bro. Brooke is always a risk for rest. I agree. But against the Sixers, that type of value, you gotta risk it, man. Gotta risk it. And to be honest, although we're gonna be disadvantaged with the rest stuff, so is everybody else that's playing, and they're gonna have people who's at risk for rest too. So it kind of creates a balance with the risk and the reward. You know what I mean? Just hopefully we get to dodge all that and become successful. Should we really invest on the 2 day or just wait till Tuesday lineup? Don't invest. I would say just enter like one or two tournaments in case the lineup busts. You could say we had a profitable night, but don't go crazy on that slate because it's no telling. Save your money for Tuesday when I bring that fire. Nets trying to win games. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Nets are not tanking because it's two things the Nets are praying for right now. And that's how you know I'm a basketball fanatic, okay? Because I could tell you what's going on. I could read between the lines, okay? The first thing is the more games the Nets win, the less likely that Boston is going to get the number one pick. Boston has the pick for the Nets. So the Nets are not getting any picks in the first round. The second thing is if the Pacers do not make the playoffs, the Nets get a second round pick. So the Nets are cheering that the Pacers lose and they're trying to win so Boston doesn't become stronger in that Eastern Conference, okay? The Raps trying to get a better seed, I agree. And they're trying to keep their players in condition and they're developing. I think that Kyle Lowry sitting helped DeRozan a lot. It helps shows the team what other ways they can use him. And in games now, when Kyle Lowry is back and he comes out for some rest, they might do like what they're doing out in Portland, where you see McCollum come out way early. So when Lillard sit down, McCollum comes back in, and you know what I mean. So that's just my take on that. Cavs aren't even the one seed at the moment. Don't think LeBron rests. Hey, hey. Oh, the next thing that I've read between the line is that the Cavs don't want to be the one seed right now. And they're kind of watching what Miami is doing. I had a very heated debate with my brother about the Cavs. He thinks LeBron is the best and indestructible, and the Cavs are coming out the East hands down. I don't doubt that, right? But what I know is, and if um, Gabriel was in the room, he'll probably like me saying this, but one thing that I know is basketball is a game about matchups and DVPs and all that. We know that from fantasy sports, right? And Miami is a matchup nightmare for Cleveland, okay? A matchup nightmare. They don't match up well with Cleveland whatsoever. Cleveland does not match up well with Miami. And you've seen that all season. We see it when they play each other. Miami has a legitimate chance of disappointing Cleveland first round. And people would argue me to the death of it. But Kyrie is going to have a hard time as a guard position. But Dragic is going to have a good time on Kyrie, okay? Same thing in the two guard. Those guys, I watched the game today. Josh Richardson is no joke, bro. The boy plays defense. So all that J.R. Smith, whatever, he's gonna have to work for those shots, all right? And then LeBron is LeBron. I get it. You know what I mean? But you're gonna need a little more than that. And then Kevin Love is gonna have a hard time dealing with James Johnson down there in the post. It's not gonna be a walk in the park. And then Whiteside, who's what? Tristan Thompson, he gonna close his eyes and start thinking about those Kardashians. You know what I mean? He's not playing basketball. He's thinking about he's under the Kardashian curse. He's not messing with Hassan Whiteside. Them stitches healed up in his hands, and he's ready to beast. The man is beasting with 12 stitches in his hands. It's a nightmare matchup for Cleveland. So that's how I feel about the Cavs right now. I think that Cleveland is kind of playing around with the seeding to try to avoid playing Miami in the first round. I could be wrong. It's just me giving my thoughts. All right. I've been with you from the start. Before the high number follow, win or lose, I've been down. Jeffrey, that's a fact. Your name is definitely a name that I've been seeing. So shout out to Jeffrey Hayward. Love my Blazers. Big Oregon fan. Oregon is not making a lot of people happy right now. Wish there was a second game tomorrow. Ducks should have had a game last night. Whatever. Ducks are gone, man. I'm a Syracuse guy. I like Syracuse. LeBron don't fear anyone. He doesn't. That's why I said the only person that will be able to go off is LeBron, but it's no iron team. He's gonna need more than that. So, um, Mamba, stop the hate. What kind of hate you talking about, Mamba? I'm all or nothing. Ain't no such thing as a safe lineup. Take the chance. Make a team as if no one is resting. Hey, Jamar, I feel like that too. And I used to say that about blowouts. People used to tell me, hey, that's going to be a blowout. And I would never make a lineup around blowout. But I'm not playing any Cleveland players in my lineup. So, and I like my lineup. Even with the Cleveland guys, even if all the Cleveland plays, there's nobody I hate in this lineup. Valanciunas, Gordon, DeRozan, Brooke Lopez, Vonleh, Paul George, TLC, and Chris Dunn. I don't hate anyone in that lineup. So even if those guys play, I feel pretty good about it. I don't hate my lineup at all. Miami could end up the 7th seed, though, and it can backfire. That's what I'm saying, Sway. That's what's happening. I agree. So all of a sudden, Miami's moving up in the ranks. Cleveland is busting their butt to win overtime games. You don't see that? They did not bring that effort when Miami was clinging on to 8th seed, but Miami started making a little push and won a couple of games. Cleveland want to win games now. But when Miami's in the 8th place, they're lackluster. They don't want to win games like that. I'm reading between the lines, man. I'm reading between the lines. Mamba, what kind of hate are you talking about? The Cleveland hate? Because I hate that team. I don't like the Cleveland Cavs. I don't like them. I want to see them play Miami in the first round so I could win this bet that I just made with my brother. Because I think Miami got a shot. Just how I feel based on the matchups. But I'm getting ready to get out of here. I just broke down to sleep. I'm going to go get some sleep. And congratulations again. On the way out, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let's keep this win streak going, man. We've been doing very well. And I feel that it's going to just continue. Negativity with your LeBron comments. Listen, I said LeBron is the only unstoppable player. I gave the guy his props. I'm not hating. I just don't like that he's a big baby. I don't like that he left Cleveland in the first place. And Durant's going to do the same thing. If somebody want to bet with me that Durant opt out after this year, win or lose, and go right back to OKC, anybody want to take me up on that bet? You still doing MLB? Not until basketball is done, man. I love basketball too much to start putting energy somewhere else. I'm about winning this basketball stuff, man. I'm not really enthusiastic about it. I'm willing to learn it, and I'll probably play around with it and practice a little bit, but I'm all in on this basketball until it's done. And then when basketball is done, then I'll get into MLB. I'll have a good amount of sample to go by. I'll kind of have some numbers to analyze, involve some mathematics in it, and see if I could be good at it. But right now, I'm all into basketball. I'm not really excited about Major League Baseball, to be honest. I got to do what my passion says, and that's basketball. All right? Awesome job. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Lewis, what hood you from? Flatbush. Flatbush / Canarsie. It's like in the middle. You from Brooklyn, Jeremiah? If you from Brooklyn, then you know what I'm talking about. Oh, South Philly. Nah, bro. I don't mess with them Philly Johns. Them Philly Johns. I'm out of here though, man. I'm ending the stream. Congratulations again. Thanks for showing love. Subscribe, hit the likes button. Normally, I say if you dislike what I do, hit the dislike button, but I'm not even saying that today because there's no reason to dislike anything about what I did today. We had 2 lineups that was straight fire. We won money today. Hit the likes button, man. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit the like button, and I'm out. Peace.